How did you like that creamy B-roll? I feel like that this is my most advanced travel video, so I figured I create an in-depth tutorial because there are some pretty advanced stuff going on in the editing department. But hey, if you liked it, please show it by smashing the like button. It'd be a great help. Let's get started, but first, intro. What's up everyone, Peter here, with an LA shirt for a New York video. I don't have much BTS of the shooting, ironically, and it was more about the editing magic. To get to the point to start editing, I had to do a lot of organization, so if you're interested in that, I will link a dedicated video at the end and in the description under the like button, which, by the way, you could smash, if you like the B-roll. For this video, let's break down the toughest edits and transitions, starting with the dog cap hyperlapse transition. I already had a pretty good result with a simple dissolve transition, but I wanted to make it smoother. So I duplicated the clip and used magic mask for the dog and the cab, put it in a compound clip and added some slide-in keyframes and eased in the opacity. Little big details, right? What do you think about it? Please share your thoughts in the comments. There were quite some hyperlapses in this B-roll, and of course there are dedicated courses on how to shoot them. Photos, gimbal, 360 camera. Here I combine both. For example, the Brooklyn Bridge, the fountain, church, and the first Grand Central Terminal shots are done with an Insta360. But the second Grand Central Terminal hyperlapse are photos. Here, I would like to thank my brother Marek, who was so patient when I shot these hyperlapses since they are so time-consuming. The easiest way to shoot is probably the 360 camera, and it gives you the most flexibility in post. So here, I'd like to show you how I edited the Brooklyn Bridge shot. I selected the in and out points, and from there I added keyframes. One pro tip here is to not only play around with the keyframes, but with easing them in and out, which basically can achieve a more smoother movement. Lastly, originally I had the end rotation to counterclockwise, but since the Grand Central Terminal was clockwise, I changed it, and there I actually didn't even apply any transition, just a speed ramp. Now, I want to show you a next level seamless transition. The cab and the buildings transition. If we check the two clips, it is a hard cut and doesn't look that good. I tried Luma transition, but the colors and shapes just seemed off and not seamless at all, even though the sky on both clips were pretty high. So to make everything come together, I decided to use magic mask for each building and have them slide in with some keyframes. Here, at keyframes, I'd like to highlight the pitch and yaw sliders. I didn't only use position and zoom keyframes, but these two add some extra flavor to the transition with their 3D kind of imitation. And this minor adjustment with 4 extra layers brought the whole transition together, even with the two clips having a basic hard cut. There is this one particular clip at the summit in the One Vanderbilt building that I loved just the way it was. I loved the reflections, and this is why I used the scene for my opening shot, but there was this one angle where I could shoot both of what's front of me and what's behind me, and if you pay attention you can see how the landscape changes. I also knew that this will be a pivotal part of my B-roll where I slow the path down. So I did nothing crazy, just a mask pen transition with a speed ramp plus aligning the horizon from the previous clip, and let New York's beautiful skyline do its magic. This clip is the statement of less is more. Always look for unique angles that just speak for themselves. If you like it, share it with a friend who loves New York. The Statue of Liberty. Integrated it to the buildings and used magic mask again to slide the parts out. Then in the next transition at the end, I added a stock footage of birds that served as a guidance, if you will, for the transition to Central Park, where there were actual birds on the original shot. I keyed the birds out and used keyframes to match the movement of the transition and the movement of the birds on the Central Park shot. Here is a great example of breaking the rules. While they say that the shot's movement should follow each other, sometimes it is worth to break those rules. This is what I did with the subway shot and me stepping out of it. When you think about it, it is just the opposite motion, but with masking it turned out to be super smooth. Plus, if you pay attention closely, the last masked frames align the subway's window with the next clip. Little big details can make or break your seamless transitions. I had two transitions when I relied solely on masking and zooming in, one into the lens of my camera and the last shot into the basketball and me appearing. First, I always aligned the two clips to match the timing and then created a fusion clip with both of the clips and tracked the area of the first clip where I wanted the transition to happen. Then I used two ellipse tools for smooth corners using feathers and hard masks, plus a transform tool to make adjustment with the movement. Here, this is where you can actually apply the tracking data, which is a bit complicated. You need to right-click on the center text in the inspector and select Connect to the Tracker 1 data. For me, it is grayed out since I already did that. Then, with the merge node, I added an alpha output using a background node, and with a second merge node, I duplicated the first clip to have the original behind, and I added a few other transform nodes. Honestly, I don't really know or understand why you need more, but what they say that you should dedicate a node for each motion, so this is what I did. The one called size takes care of the zoom transition. Until now, think about having two layers of clips but one with a mask. Then I merged them and I could integrate the second clip and have this infinite zoom effect. For the cherry on the top, I added another transform node, and on the settings panel, I added motion blur. The pro tip here is to always increase the quality and the shutter angle to around 230-250. And that's it. I did the same with the transition of the basketball and me. Subtle is the result we are looking for when it comes to creamy B-rolls. As your edit comes together, try to think about not just a given transition, but blending more clips together. So there are these three shots that I kind of blended together, but in a subtle way. It's the boy riding the bicycle, then the Transformers, and the total of the Times Square. Here I found a cool transition in DaVinci called Edgy, which has this glowing effect, and I loved how it looks on the Transformers, and I think it really suits it. But in order to elevate the transition and the glow, I figured I will play around with the biker scene and edit this effect called Paper Edge. For this, I magic masked the biker boy and then adjusted the effect to my liking. One extra step that I'd like to mention here is to use keyframes so the effect changes over time, plus I increased its size as well. Then, to blend the bumblebee scene to the Times Square even more, I, again, magic mask the pipe and put it into the previous scene the entire time as a foreground, so I guess the transition got way smoother. But we can do more, right? So while I was at it, I magic masked other areas of the Times Square shot as well and made other buildings grow out and slide into the transition. Cool, right? But for the level 99, I added matching sound effects. I found this robotic, futuristic sound effect on Artlist, which I highly recommend, and the discount link is in the description under the like button that you could smash if you find this video helpful. So that effect was just perfect for the Transformers and had a hit when the last building appeared. And there you have it. These were the edits that I found the most exciting and were the most challenging for me. This was an amazing project, not just because the experience in New York with my brother, but organizing the footage, coming up with the ideas for the transitions, finding the best matching clips and tying everything together. So before we say goodbye, let's check the entire B-roll but only with sound effects, because as I always say, that is the cherry on the top. Like the robotic heat effect in this last example of the building heat, but watch it and pay close attention to the little big details like the taxi shouting or the bells at the Grand Central Terminal or the prayer during the church scene. Here it is.
Taxi!
It gives me chills. I mean, there are amazing videos of New York, and I would like to give a shout out to Sam Calder's Gymshark collab or András Ra's hyperlapses. They inspired me to make this B-roll, and I hope it is on par. Please let me know what you think or what would you have done differently. I'd love to read your feedbacks and start a conversation. And if you liked it, please send it to Sam Calder or András or other creators. Maybe I could collab with them. So that's it for now, but if you want to dive into the organization part and learn how to create a super easy to use string out of all your shots, especially when you have 1,000+ clips of a 10-day trip, make sure to check this video out. Like, comment and subscribe with smashing the notification bell as well. Tons of content coming up. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, maybe in this. Click. Bye.